Okay guys, welcome back to another video. In the last 2019 social studies exam paper, I stopped at 21. I'll start from 21 again to the end for this video. All right, so which statement is correct? Oceans are surrounded by land while seas are surrounded by land? No. Oceans are larger and deeper while seas are smaller and more shallow? Yes. Seas contain salt water? Yes. While oceans contain fresh water? No. Seas are surrounded by islands only? While oceans are surrounded by continents? No. So the answer is B. Oceans are larger and deeper while seas are smaller and more shallow. 22. Which strategy best or is most helpful in reducing the impact of landslide in mountainous areas? A says planting crops, B says public education, C says building retaining walls, and D says slash and burn. So the answer for this one would be C. Planting crops could work, but what kind of crops? They never stated. So the most helpful would be building retaining walls. All right, let's move on to 23. Here we have some sources to answer 23. Source 1, Blue and John Crow Mountains National Park is a large area of natural forest where many animals are protected. The region is a known habitat for the largest butterfly in the Western Hemisphere, which is a giant swallowtail butterfly. Whether it is hiking, this is source 2, catching a glimpse of rare birds, exploring a coffee farm, or enjoying a picnic, the Blue and John Crow Mountains National Park has an experience for everyone. Source 3. The Blue and John Crow Mountains offer refuge to maroons and therefore preserve the tangible cultural heritage associated with the maroon story. Which source or sources supports the statement below? Here is the statement. Indigenous plants and animals have their homes in mountainous areas. Indigenous meaning that's where they originate from. Source 2, it is, but not just source 2. It's also found in source 1, the swallowtail butterfly. So it's gonna be sources 1 and 2, which is C. For source 3, it speaks more of the maroons, all right, and not so much plants and animals. 24. The diagram below shows the structure of the Jamaican government. That's the last unit for term 2, so hopefully you would have read that unit. You have the Governor General up top, which is representing the head of state. We have the 3 arms or branches of government. Some might say segments, sector, areas of government: legislature, executive, and the judiciary. Legislature is where the laws are made. Executive is where the laws are executed or carried out, and judiciary has to do with justice and equity. All right. So which is a function of the arm of government labeled X? A says interprets the law. Interpreting the law would be judiciary. They interpret and enforce sanctions. B, making laws. A. C, making policies. And D, directing the affairs of the country. The answer is B. Legislator would make the law. So the answer would be B. All right, moving on. 25 says, which is a function carried out by central government. So we have central government and local government. Central government has to do with government over the whole country. Local government, as it says, locally within your parish area, your division, your communities. So maintaining markets, that's local government. Maintaining minor roads, local government. Cleaning of public cemeteries, local government. So it's gonna be A, collecting of taxes for central government. Government from head office, Kingston. Which is the most democratic method of selecting a student representative to sit on a school board? Once you hear democratic or democracy, think voting, all right? A says allow the students to vote for a representative. B says allow selected students to write and deliver a speech. C, the principal selects a student of his or her personal preference. And D says we should have just seek a student to volunteer. Democracy, democratic has to do with voting, so it's A. We vote to select our leaders in a democracy. All right. Mark is a resident of Rock Grove. He loves his community and gets along well with everyone. He wants to be the president of the community's citizen association. Which characteristics would qualify him to be a good leader? He must know or he knows many community members. B says he needs to love the community in which he lives. C says he needs to own many cars and houses in the community. And D says he really needs to listen to community members and accept their suggestions. D is the answer. To be a good leader, you need to listen to those whom you're trying to lead or leading and accept their suggestions. John was eager to participate in the process of selecting a new government in his country. You know that, speaking of voting. He went to do so, but realized he left his ID card. The the workers at the location refused to allow him to participate in the process, even though his name was on the list, and that list is the voters list. Which of John's rights was violated? A says right to vote, B says right to a fair trial, C, freedom of movement, D, protection from discrimination. It's his right to vote, which is A. All right, 29. Which is not supported by the Jamaican Constitution? A, requirements for citizenship. Yes, we have 5 requirements to be a citizen. B, rights and responsibilities of citizen. Yes, every citizen has rights and responsibilities. C, the specific places of worship where people should worship, Jamaicans should worship. And D, penalties for breaking the law. Of course, we have to pay penalties. The one that's not supported is C, there's nothing saying which church you should go, which denom you should be a part of. That's open. 30. Persons born outside of Jamaica with Jamaican parents or grandparents can claim Jamaican citizenship. Under which of the following can these persons apply for Jamaican citizenship? A says through marriage. B, registration in the Commonwealth. C, enumeration. D, descent. And it's by descent. So you're a citizen by descent if you were born overseas to parents who are Jamaican citizens. So it can be your parents or your grandparents, even great-grandparents. You're descended. Descent meaning you come from. All right, so for this one, I think we need to select 2. Which 2 activities are most suitable for mountainous areas? A, hiking. B, sand mining. C, coffee cultivation. D, sugarcane cultivation. The 2 most suitable ones are hiking, which is A, and C, coffee cultivation. All right, let's go to the next one using the table to complete 32. So we have 2 countries, country A, country B. Events of country A are Diwali and Hosea. Events of country B are Christmas and Easter. And right away we're seeing that these are celebrations, right? All of them are religious celebration or events or festivals. Which 2 options best describe the similarities in events in country A and country B? It says the events held in both countries. A, are religious celebrations. Yes, they are. B, they are held on the same date. No. C, they are major commercial activities. Excuse me. And D, they were started by various ethnic groups. So that is correct. A and D. All 4 are religious celebrations. All 4 of them were started by ethnic groups. Moving on to 33. All right, this is a little hard to read, so I think I'm going to leave that one out. If you get one wrong, I don't think it's gonna make you not go to your top school, but if you know your content and it comes up clearly, you should be able to do it. Suan got an assignment to write a composition to answer the following question. How were the paths to independence taken by Jamaica, Haiti, and Cuba different? Which two sources would be most helpful in helping Suan write the composition? A says books about the political history of the country, of each country. B says a visit to the tourist board in one of the countries. C, religious education textbooks used in each country. D, newspaper articles, about pre and post independent activities, and we're selecting 2 for this one, just the same. And we're looking at books about the political history. Yes, so that's 1. And newspaper articles about pre and post independent activities. So A and D for 34. 35. All right, so which leaders, and you're seeing quite a few recurring items. All right, so for Haiti, Toussaint Louverture, I like that name. All right, Norman Manley is Jamaica, Jose Marti is Cuba, Alexander Barnia, Jamaica. I don't not necessarily Barnia, but you know what I mean. He's Jamaican, though born here. All right, so read the statement in the table and say whether it supports or does not. Gaining independence was a good thing for Jamaica. I don't know if we need to. Yeah, we'd have to read that thing up there. I can't look at it either. Can't do that one because we don't want to select the wrong thing. All right, read its argument in the table below and indicate whether it supports or does not support the statement. Here is the statement above. And the statement says festivals are important to the preservation of Caribbean culture. So here are they. Festivals allow for aspects of Caribbean culture to spread within the region. Of course, that supports that statement, or the statement supports this. B, second one says, these celebrations may contribute to the spread of disease. They can, but the statement does not support that. Our festivals provide for the development of regional pride and identity for the people, and that one is supported. Moving on to 38. All right, read, and so there's a statement. Mountains are important to man. Read each explanation in the table below and indicate whether it is supported or if it supports or does not support the statement. Statement again. Mountains are important to man. Here is statement 1. They are ideal for the production of crops. Would that be support or does not support? Support. All right, next one. They contribute to increased rainfall. Of course, we know that. Supports. They are ideal for rearing cattle. Statement does not support. All right, moving on to 40. End of it. 2019 paper. Read the supporting questions in the table. And so we have to use this statement up here. Is there a balance between the rights of a citizen and the power of government? So you're going to read each question and say, will it help or will it not help with this statement? Or will the statement not help the question? First question. Is there a relationship between the government authority and the rights of citizen? Will that help? Read that question up here, or will it not help? It will help. Second statement. How do government officials get elected? Does it have to do with this? Will not help. Next statement or question. What are the basic rights of citizens? Will help with the balancing of the rights of citizens and the power of government. And with that, boys and girls, we've come to the end of the 2019 paper, Social Studies Part 2. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next paper. Bye, everyone.